9:16 right now, everybody, and teenagers across the country are in crisis. Many of them don't know where to turn to get the help that they really need.
Yeah, in New York City, 4 out of 10 high school students reported feeling sad or hopeless every single day. A little over 9% of public high school students have attempted suicide, and those numbers continue to climb after the pandemic. Licensed clinical social worker Jill Dino is on the front lines of the teen mental health crisis, and she joins us this morning with some helpful resources. So good morning to you, Jill. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So a little bit on your background. You are a therapist with Talkspace, and that's the online and mobile counseling group that actually helped the city launch TeenSpace.
Yes, with the Department of Health. Yes,
yeah, so tell us a little bit about what TeenSpace is and what services they provide.
Great. Well, TeenSpace, as you said, it's an initiative through the Department of Health. And what it has done, it offers free, which is incredible, free services to New York City teenagers ages 13 to 17 with parental consent. You can't just sign up on your own. So what they do is they're able to go to Talkspace.com/NYC and they sign up, they answer some intake questions so that they're matched appropriately with the best match of a licensed therapist. And they're matched with a licensed therapist within that day, usually within a few hours in the ideal world. And then they can start working with a therapist through a few different modalities, which is really nice. You can talk over a live video session. You can talk through chat. So you can message your therapist, right? Which I think is great because how do teenagers love to communicate?
Texting, yeah.
I mean, we all do, right? Let's be real.
Yeah.
We all love to text.
Right.
So they can send a text. And what's nice about it is they could actually send a text at 11 at night. Now, the therapist will be asleep at 11 at night, maybe watching Netflix, but they will still see that text that next morning and be able to respond. But what's nice is that the teenager doesn't have to wait. So if something's on their mind at 11 at night, they can get it down, they can get it out. They're not having to wait with that thought.
Bottle it up. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So there's really nice modalities to work in.
That's important.
Or if they don't want to type it out and say that's harder for them, there's a feature where you push a microphone button, just like on our phones, where you can talk out your message and say, oh my gosh, this is what's really bothering me. So it works in a lot of really creative ways that appeal to teenagers.
That is great, but it's also that first step to get there to do the sign up, because a lot of teenagers are suffering in silence, right? Parents may not realize that there's something going on to begin with, right? And then you feel as a parent that you failed. But how do you get that initial first step to get them to go to the site to sign up?
That's such a great question. So one, there's been a lot of advertising about it. Even the schools have been sending out to parents and to the students themselves. So there is that there's more awareness about the program itself. But let's say a parent doesn't know about this program. I hope this helps. But even to have conversations, I think the key to paying attention to your child, knowing that if there's any changes going on, right? And some of those changes with teenagers are tough because let's face it, teenagers can be snarky. Is that a change or is that just being a teenager? I think the key is really creating safe, open communication, and that starts when they're little. But let's say you haven't had that opportunity when they're younger. Beginning that now as a teenager, letting them know you're on their team, like you are their safe space to land, you're their soft spot, that even when they are snarky, even then they're trying to push you away, that you've got their back. You've got their back without judgment, which can be hard to do sometimes because, oof, you want to judge them because they're driving you crazy. But that you're their safe space to land. And to do that is to really let them know, hey, I've got your back. I want to hear it. And sometimes you have to listen more than talk, which is hard to do.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Now, there are different types of therapies that you can use with teens. What are the best ones that you find work?
So there are lots of different, you'll hear about lots of different theories, lots of different modalities. I think the first thing to think about before any modality is making sure your teenager feels comfortable with that therapist and feels safe to talk about that, because not everybody's the perfect match. It's kind of like going on a blind date. Just because two people are single doesn't mean it's the right match. Same thing with therapy. So you want to find the right match first, and then you want to think about what are some of the therapies that work. So with teenagers, you sometimes hear a lot about cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. So that is something that works with kids who have, negative thought processes, which we've all had. When your confidence is feeling low and you might be like, oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. I'm never going to do great at school. No matter how hard I work, right? Those are negative thought constructs. CBT works really well for that because it can help anyone, kids or adults, really work on negative thought patterns and negative behaviors and replace those with more positive constructs and positive behaviors. So that's really a common practice.
Let's ask you about social anxiety too, because that's a huge deal. And,
Yes.
and you have it at your fingertips. You experience it because you're looking at social media. What are some of the best tools to battle something like social anxiety?
Social anxiety, there's a lot of tools for social anxiety. One thing that comes to my mind is a lot of kids will work with DBT for social anxiety, for any high level emotions, high level behaviors. Dialectical behavior therapy is the long name for DBT. And that can work on high intense feelings, high intense behaviors, and teaches kids strategies and tools.
Okay.
But social anxiety is so broad
Yeah.
that any therapist, right, whether they're trained in DBT or CBT, should have a complement of skills and strategies in their toolbox as a therapist as they get to know each client in front of them to be able to teach a child those strategies.
Well, it's so wonderful to know that those resources are available to kids here.
It's really important to know that they're free.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's a
Yes.
huge initiative through the Department of Health.
Well, Jill, thanks so much for being with us
Thanks
this
for
morning.
your time
Appreciate
today.
your advice and tips. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yes.